Hey YouTube, what's up? So I was thinking about sharing some things that I keep in my vehicle, in particular the console area. In my vehicle, I have a center console. I don't have a forward facing console, but I do have a glove box in addition to a center console. So everybody has probably different types of vehicles. You may or may not have a center console. You may have just a glove box. Some people don't even have a glove box. I've seen some vehicles that have different designs, and they just don't design a glove box as part of the vehicle, but they may have another compartment that they call it something different. And so I just wanted to show you some things I keep in my center console. These items could also be moved into my glove box, but it's a little tight already of stuff in there. I got a lot of papers in there, and I really don't want to put anything else in there. So my center console is basically like, it's just kind of like a big square, and it's not actually that big, but it's big enough if I wanted to. I could probably fit something like this size, but it would be pretty tight. And so if I was to drop it down into that center console, this is possibly doable, but I just don't want this size. So what I did was I went to a smaller size pouch systems, and I ended up doing 3 pouches just to keep things even that much more organized. But also I like pouches more than some other different type of container systems. That's just kind of what I found that works best for me. So here's the first pouch, here is the second pouch, and here is the third pouch. So as you can see here, I have 2 of these size pouches and then this smaller pouch. And this is not all that I actually keep in the center console. I can't carry much more than this, but I do have 100 feet of 550 Type 3 parachute cord, and I have a pair of work gloves, I have a small flashlight, and a small multi-tool. That's in there already right now. I didn't want to pull it out. I thought I could just describe it to you, and we're good to go. The main focus is just what I keep in these small pouch kit systems. So this is kind of what I would consider my trio center console kit system. And they have different things, but these things can be used in various situations. But it's kind of more like a backup to a backup, in my system. And this backup is just to kind of reinforce or back up my car emergency system, the survival kit, if you will. Not that I have any plans on surviving anywhere, but if things got really bad and for some reason I lost the other stuff or it got stolen or whatever, I could have at least some options here. And these options are fairly basic. I mean, there's not really anything that amazing. I'm not going to be like, oh my gosh, let's write a book about this. But I will say they're very practical items, and it can't hurt to have a little more redundancy sometimes, especially when the form factor and the weight are very agreeable. So I'm going to go ahead and jump to this first pouch. It's the smallest pouch. So let's go ahead and move the other 2 to the side. In this smallest pouch, I have this small baggie. And what you can see in here, and I do apologize for the lighting. I'm still working on getting a good lamp to help me when I do these night videos. But I have these, I have to be careful because a lot of people say they're not ear swabs, they're just cotton swabs. But these are the really nice ones though. You see they had the really nice wooden stems on them. And I also have 2 birthday candles. And I have a medley of these stainless steel safety pins. So that's in this little baggie. I'll put that to the side. The next item is just a backup USB to micro USB cord. It can't hurt to have one. Sometimes you might forget yours or you might break yours. Things happen. So having a little backup, even if it's very short in its length, it's very handy. Just a generic brand of super glue. I bought a big multi-pack of these a few years ago, and I've used almost all of them. To my great surprise, these come in handy over a lot of different issues. Also, before I continue, I just want to address that I do have this 550 Type 3 reflective orange paracord fob that I made for this particular kit. It's not in particular that because this kit has anything really special, but it does have some things that I find that are very valuable, such as a fire source and a few other things. So I kind of make sure that I have something to kind of designate that this is kind of maybe one of the better kits of the three. Not that it's really the best, but it's something that does have important gear in it. So I have a full-size Bic lighter, and the fluid is about almost 3/4 full, so that's pretty good. Still a lot of life left in that lighter. Let's go ahead and dig a little bit deeper. So we have this here, and this is a compass. Now, at first look, it's going to look really cheesy and cheap, and I will agree, this is a cheap compass. But actually, this compass works. That's all that matters. The next thing I have in this small pouch is this standard size, it's just standard gauge garbage bag. It'd be best if you could go with a contractor's grade or even a really large size, but you know, it's a small pouch. So I just went with something that was more realistic. But this could be made to cover your person, to make some kind of improvised shelter, you know, like it could be rain gear or whatnot, or to kind of waterproof or help to keep water off of something. There's a lot of things you could use this for. You could also use this to collect water and to do other things such as signaling. You could burn part of this. It's going to definitely create some black smoke. And you could stretch this out and create contrast, especially like, let's say, for example, it's snow out, you know, that there's actually quite a bit of snow. So everything is white. Well, you take this black garbage bag and you open it all the way up. It's going to contrast pretty greatly in your surroundings. Set that to the side. The next thing, one of my favorite, a Swiss Army knife. And this is a real one. In contrast to a fake one. I get a lot of questions when people see my various knife videos. They say, is that a real Victorinox or a Victorinox Swiss Army knife? And I was like, yeah, it really is. So this is a very valuable tool. Now this one's a very simple model, and it's okay though. It fits in the pouch just fine. The next item is this Frontier emergency straw filter. It's very cool. It doesn't have the capability to filter a lot, but it definitely can filter something, at least to help you out in the short term. Here's the straw to go with that straw filter. Let's see what else we have in this little pouch. Oh, we have some waxed thread. This stuff is very useful for a lot of bushcraft tasks, definitely, and even for repair of your gear. I'm not sure how many yards of this, but there's quite a bit. Sometimes you can also get, and with certain brands, dental floss, and you can get some really good wax thread for very cheap on these little spools. We also have this little light. It's pretty nice. It's a generic brand. Little backup light. And I have to say, that's what I have in the small pouch. In the second pouch, let's look inside and see what I have. First item is this piece of gauze. Very simple. This particular gauze is made out of a nylon. It's very stretchy. Doesn't absorb very well at all, but it definitely helps you in your wounds because it doesn't stick to them. So sometimes cotton does that. It can actually get stuck in the wound and the scab gets kind of enmeshed with the gauze. It doesn't really affect these the same way. Set that aside. Let's see here what we got here in a little Ziploc bag. We got this Washburn Laboratories antiseptic towelettes. Also, I have some various bandages in there, just small band-aids. I think over there in Great Britain, or those in the United Kingdom, they call them plasters, I believe. Band-aids, plasters. Pretty cool. Lots of different words for the same thing. An old dust mask. It's very, very flimsy and not so great, but it fits in here just fine. This is a compact. I believe that's what it's called or pronounced, compact. Females use this to apply their makeup, from what I understand. It has on one side a standard mirror, and then the other side it has a magnified mirror. I'd show you, but with the light on this camera, it would probably blind you, so I'm just going to keep it closed. But yeah, so it's very compact and lightweight, but it has two mirrors, very handy. Let's see what else we have in this pouch. Oh, got something large here. The 1-inch Gorilla Tape. This is the travel size. It's almost too big for this pouch, but it does work, and you definitely want some good tape. The next item are these alkaline AA batteries. These came from the dollar store for $1. This is the Sunbeam brand. The Sunbeam is actually a pretty good value. I've tested it among other brands, and it has some of the best run times. Now here's some Duracell brand and some Panasonic brand. The Panasonic brand isn't that great. The Duracell brand are, but you pay more for them as well. Let's see what else we have in the pouch. This is pretty cool. Not sure if I've shown it to you on the channel, but it is a magnifying glass. Pretty powerful. I think this is an 8 times magnifier. So an 8 times is pretty good. It's either 8 or 10 times. It's pretty substantial. And the cool thing about this is that it uses real glass as the magnifier, not plastic. These are a little harder to find. It took quite a while to find that. Let's see what else we have in the pouch. Well, I think we're through. So this is what I have in my second pouch. This is my third pouch. Let's see what I have inside. Very important item. Some people may say that's a lot of toilet paper. It actually is, but it's very useful. Not only for emergencies, in terms of having to stop the car and running into the bushes and going to the bathroom, but you can use this to blow your nose. Even if you get scratched, maybe you can put this on there, even though this is not sterile, but you could definitely do a lot, especially if you spill something on you or in your vehicle. You can use this to help clean up, but good old toilet paper. The next is a Ziploc bag or a plastic bag. This actually is not the generic brand. This is actually a Hefty brand. Very good. You can use this as a water container or to help waterproof an item. Of course, there's a lot of other uses as well. Let's see what else I have in this little pouch. So here is a parachute cord. This is type 1 parachute cord with about a 90-pound test limit. I got this from CountyCom's website. I believe this is the Meritac brand. And it's basically like a silver with black accents. It's pretty nice. I'm not sure how many feet I have here. I would guess that I have at least about 20 feet. Let's see what else I have in here. Oh, I got some Johnson & Johnson Band-Aids. some more antiseptic towelettes, more Band-Aids, different sizes, fingertip Band-Aid from the brand Expect First Aid. I think that was all there. And then let's go ahead and dig a little deeper. Okay. An emergency space blanket. Boy, I'm just dropping everything, aren't I? There you go. A Mylar space blanket. And we have from Israel, I bought this a while back. Here we go. First Aid Sterilized Personal Wound Dressing. Let's see if there's anything else in the pouch. And that's it. So that concludes pouch number 3. So thanks for spending time with me as I showed you the pouches here that I keep in my center console of my vehicle. I hope this was helpful on some level. Maybe it gave you some ideas of things to carry with you or keep with you in your vehicle. I do have access to other items near and around the center console. And so just really briefly, I want to say that I do have some hand sanitizer wipes and the actual hand sanitizer liquid very close by. I keep a water bottle very close by. It's actually almost an entire liter, so it's a good amount of water I keep. I keep a lot of napkins, a big stack of them, in fact. And I also keep an umbrella and a few other little loose items. In the door, I have an actual compartment that can store things in the door, and also under the seat. So I just wanted to mention that. So these are all things that are in addition to my other main kit system in the vehicle for emergencies. So with this, just these things alone, I can do quite a few things, and hopefully I'll never have to even use these items, but they are there if I need them, and they're very small in profile and very lightweight. You know, this weighs probably maybe a pound at most. This one here probably weighs about maybe 8 ounces. And this one's very light. This is probably maybe like 5 or 6 ounces. So not a real big deal. But once again, thanks for checking the video out. I really do appreciate it if you hit that thumbs up button. And if you want to leave a comment and just let me know how I'm doing on this channel, I really do appreciate that. I always read pretty much all of the comments, and I try to get back to everybody if you have a question. So hey, thanks again. Catch you later.